From terrifying villains to forgettable background creatures, these are the best and worst monsters and creatures in Gravity Falls. Starting with the cream of the crop, Bill Cipher is one of the best villains ever made in animation. Even today, nearly 10 years after Gravity Falls ended, Bill is still remembered as the gold standard of animated villains. His simple design, a yellow triangle with one eye, a bow tie, and a top hat looks funny at first, but behind the simple shape is a character who is scary, clever, and very powerful.
Oh, name's Bill Cipher, and I take it you're some kind of living ventriloquist dummy? I'm just kidding, I know who you are.
Bill has reality warping powers, which means he can change the world around him in any way he wants. This makes him feel unstoppable and unpredictable. One second he is making silly jokes, and the next he is turning everything into chaos. That balance of humor and fear is what made him so special. You could never relax when Bill was around because you never knew if he was going to make you laugh or give you chills.
You can't even imagine what you just cost me! Do you have any idea what I'm like?
When I'm mad?
So I guess it gets really...
Another reason Bill Cipher is such a strong character is his personality. He is smart, tricky, and always looking for ways to fool people. He loves making deals, but his deals always have a terrible cost. He knows how to find someone's weakness and use it against them. This makes him more than just powerful. He is dangerous in a clever way too.
Point is, I like you. How's about you let me give you a hint, huh? I only ask for a small favor. In return, ready to make a deal. Hey, want to hear my impression of you in about 3 seconds?
Even though Bill was often funny, his darker side showed how frightening he could be. He was not just a cartoon prankster. He was a cosmic threat, a demon who could twist reality itself. Every time he appeared, the whole show felt more intense and exciting. While Bill shows monster perfection, not every creature succeeds. The Lilliputians are often remembered as one of the weakest monsters in the show. Sure, the idea of tiny creatures running in a miniature golf course sounded fun at first, but the execution left much to be desired. Compared to the many clever and creepy creatures the series introduced, the Lilliputians came across as more irritating than frightening or even interesting. At first, their golf course world seemed creative. Seeing little societies hidden inside a place you'd never expect was a neat concept, but once the novelty wore off, the Lilliputians didn't have much to offer. Their squeaky voices were supposed to be funny, but over time, they became grating. Instead of adding charm, the high-pitched bickering made scenes feel repetitive and tiresome.
Behold!
The biggest problem with the Lilliputians was their lack of depth. Many of Gravity Falls' monsters had layers, whether it was mystery, scariness, or clever storytelling that made them memorable. The Lilliputians, however, relied almost entirely on constant infighting. Every time they were on screen, the focus shifted to their endless arguments, which grew old quickly. This made them feel flat compared to the rich, creative designs of other creatures.
Tournament against my rival, Pacifica.
Oh, we know all about rivals.
These frilly bottom Papajays are terrible at controlling the ball.
Another weakness was that they never felt like a real threat. Even though they tried to present themselves as dangerous to the human characters, it was hard to take them seriously. Their small size and silly behavior made them come across as more of a nuisance than a challenge.
These guys are a riot.
Fighting is inadvertently adorable.
Adorable we are, hugeling, but our tail less so. Every hole in the...
Overall, the Lilliputians were a rare misstep in an otherwise brilliant show. While the golf course setting was fun, the creatures themselves simply didn't hold up. Their squeaky voices, shallow personalities, and lack of menace placed them far below the high standard of other monsters in Gravity Falls. But if the Lilliputians represent Gravity Falls at its most irritating, then the Shapeshifter showcases the series at its absolute most terrifying. Unlike other creatures that were meant to be funny or silly, this one was made to be truly frightening. Its powers, design, and final form made it stand out as a real danger to the characters and as one of the best examples of horror in the series.
How do you like my true form? Go on, admit it. You like it.
What did you do to the real author?
You'll likely never find him. That six-fingered nerd hasn't been himself in 30 years.
The Shapeshifter's main power was copying people. It would take on the look and voice of anyone. This made it very hard to trust what you were seeing on screen. Was it really Dipper, Mabel, or someone else? Or was it the monster in disguise? That question made every scene feel tense and exciting. The show used this power to play with fear in a clever way.
Come out! I must speak with you.
As the Shapeshifter changed shapes, it slowly showed hints of its true self. Sometimes the copies looked a little strange, or the body would twist in a disturbing way. These small moments gave viewers a taste of body horror, something not often seen in a cartoon. The longer you watched, the more unsettling it became.
Hey, let's go!
You leave him alone!
The scariest part came when the Shapeshifter finally revealed its real form. Its final body was tall, stretched, and filled with mismatched parts. It looked unnatural, like something out of a nightmare. This moment proved that the Shapeshifter was more than just a trickster. It was a monster you had to fear.
Push him in!
What makes the Shapeshifter so memorable is how dangerous it always felt. It wasn't just there for jokes or quick scares. It kept the audience on edge from start to finish. With its creepy powers, strange designs, and terrifying last form, the Shapeshifter gave Gravity Falls one of its darkest and most unforgettable episodes. The Shapeshifter demonstrated how creative horror could make your skin crawl and keep you guessing until the very end. But creativity isn't guaranteed in every monster design. Sometimes even a show as imaginative as Gravity Falls falls back on the mundane. The Pterodactyl is proof of that. While the show is known for its creative and often strange monsters, this dinosaur felt very plain by comparison. Instead of being unique or mysterious, the Pterodactyl came across as just a basic dinosaur with wings. It didn't have much of a personality, and it didn't bring anything new to the story besides a short burst of action. Dinosaurs are usually exciting, but in a show like Gravity Falls, the bar was already set very high. Fans were used to seeing unusual monsters that were funny, creepy, or full of mystery. The Pterodactyl lacked all of that. It didn't talk, it didn't have a clever design twist, and didn't show much intelligence. It was simply a flying dinosaur, something audiences had already seen many times in other shows and movies. Its role in the story also felt weak. The Pterodactyl appeared mainly to give the characters a quick chase scene and a little bit of danger. While the action was fun in the moment, it didn't leave a lasting impression. Once the scene was over, the creature was easy to forget. Compared to other monsters that challenged the characters in creative ways, the Pterodactyl didn't stand out at all. This lack of depth made it feel like filler. It was there to add excitement, but it didn't add to the mystery, humor, or horror that Gravity Falls did so well. The show usually combined action with interesting ideas, but this time it felt like the writers just needed something simple to move the story along. Overall, the Pterodactyl wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't special. In a world filled with amazing monsters, it ended up being one of the least interesting. Where the Pterodactyl failed to leave any lasting impression with its generic approach, the Summerween Trickster succeeded by weaving together every element that makes a great monster. It was a perfect mix of spooky fun and real danger, fitting perfectly with a Halloween-inspired Summerween episode. What made it so special was the way it balanced humor, creepiness, and even a bit of sadness, all while looking like something straight out of a nightmare.
Trick or treat.
Dude, really? You're a little old for this, man. Sorry.
But wait.
He came down with the case of the grumpy grumps.
Silence! You have insulted me, and for this you must pay with your lives.
The Trickster's design was both clever and unsettling. At first, it seemed like a tall, shadowy figure that chased kids who didn't respect Summerween traditions. Its long body and strange face made it creepy enough to feel threatening. But the real shock came when its secret was revealed. It was made from discarded candy that no one wanted. This twist gave the monster a tragic backstory. It wasn't just evil for no reason. It was born from being rejected, and that made it oddly sad as well as scary.
If you can collect 500 pieces of candy and bring it to me before the last jack-o'-melon goes out, I will let you live.
500 treats in one night? That's impossible!
The choice is yours.
The Trickster worked so well because it represented both the fun and the darker side of Halloween. Its goal was simple: punish kids who didn't collect enough candy, but the way it went about it made the episode tense and exciting. The chase scenes were filled with suspense, and the monster's sheer presence made it feel like a true threat.
Mabel?
Oh, really? I've seen better. Tick-tock.
Its final moments were some of the most memorable in the show. When the Trickster was defeated, it dissolved into a pile of candy. The scene was both satisfying and disturbing at the same time. Watching it melt away reminded viewers of its sad origin, but also gave closure to the story.
Mabel! Brakes! Brakes! Brakes!
The Summerween Trickster proved that the best monsters have layers. Tragedy beneath the terror, meaning behind the menace. But strip away that emotional complexity, remove the creative spark, and you're left with something disappointingly hollow. The clay monsters are exactly that. While the show is full of strange, creative, and often hilarious monsters, these clay figures felt flat and forgettable. They were basically just lumps of animated clay shaped into humanoid form, serving only as simple physical threats without much personality or uniqueness.
Feed me! And now they will turn you into unholy beasts of clay to join in their mischief!
Well, Mr. Pines, and by work, I mean suffocate inside a big wad of clay.
At first glance, the idea of living clay monsters might sound fun. Clay can be molded into anything, so there was a lot of potential for creative designs. But in the show, that creativity was never really used. The clay monsters all looked pretty much the same, and none of them stood out. Unlike other creatures with strange backstories, creepy powers, or clever twists, the clay monsters didn't bring anything new or surprising to the story.
Big plans for you. Hey, skeleton dorks! It's clayback time!
You conquered your fear.
That's right, because she believed in herself.
Damn it, Twinkleheart! Just start pounding those skeletons!
Their role in the episode was also very basic. They were there mainly to fight the main characters and create a bit of action. While the fight scenes added some excitement, the monsters themselves didn't leave a lasting impression. Once the scene was over, there wasn't much reason to think about them again. Compared to other monsters that combined humor, horror, or mystery, the clay monsters just felt like filler.
Who wants to see me change into most anything? I can walk through walls.
We're safe. I don't get it. You don't want the pig. You don't want my tapes. What are you gonna buy? How about this delicious potion?
Another weakness was their lack of personality. They didn't talk, didn't act in funny or frightening ways, and didn't have any special traits. They were just clay figures following orders. In a show where even small background creatures often had charm, this made the clay monsters feel especially bland. If the clay monsters felt lifeless and purposeless, the ghost of Northwest Manor stands as their complete opposite. The ghost of Northwest Manor in Gravity Falls is one of the show's most memorable and meaningful monsters. Unlike many creatures that are scary just for the sake of fear, this ghost tied its terror to a story about historical injustice and revenge. It wasn't just haunting for fun, it represented the consequences of greed, selfishness, and mistreatment of others, making it feel deeper than a typical ghost story. The design and scenes involving the ghost were genuinely chilling. The image of bleeding taxidermy in the manor was creepy in a way that stuck with viewers. The party massacre sequence added real tension, showing the ghost's power and the danger it posed. These moments weren't just scary, they also reflected the ghost's anger and the harm caused by past actions, blending horror with meaningful storytelling. What makes the Ghost of Northwest Manor so effective is how it connects fear with themes of guilt and class. Its revenge wasn't random, it had purpose, teaching lessons about consequences and morality. By combining supernatural horror with a meaningful message, the ghost became more than just a scary figure. It became a memorable part of Gravity Falls that left a lasting impact on the audience. The Northwest Ghost proves supernatural depth works, but not all ghosts succeed. The convenience store ghosts in Gravity Falls are some of the weaker supernatural creatures in the series. While the episode had funny and suspenseful moments, the ghosts themselves didn't leave much of an impression. They felt underdeveloped, lacking the personality or depth that made other monsters memorable.
Hey, come here, man, we got it ready! Whatever it is, I'll do it!
Thompson!
Dipper.
These ghosts mostly existed to drive the plot forward. They caused problems for the main characters and created obstacles, but they didn't have unique traits or quirks that made them stand out. Unlike other supernatural beings in the show, which could be scary, clever, or humorous, the convenience store ghosts were generic and forgettable. Their designs were simple and didn't capture the imagination in the way the series usually does with its monsters.
Wait, maybe let's not do that. This guy's scared. All I'm saying is...
Even the spooky moments with these ghosts didn't feel as intense as scenes with other creatures. They could cause minor scares, but their presence never truly felt threatening or meaningful. Instead of adding depth to the story, they mostly acted as temporary obstacles for Dipper and Mabel to overcome.
You're a dance machine! No, you're a dance machine!
Oh no! Thompson!
Forget him! Let's go!
Guys, it's locked!
Out of my way! Everybody wait!
Sure, the convenience store ghosts were functional for the episode, but didn't add much beyond that. They lacked distinct personalities, memorable designs, and real impact, making them one of the less interesting supernatural entities in Gravity Falls. Those forgettable store spirits lack impact, but others completely surprise you. The multi-bear in Gravity Falls is a standout example of how the show could subvert expectations. At first glance, it looks terrifying. A huge, fearsome bear with multiple heads, sharp teeth, and an intimidating presence. Audiences naturally expect a violent or dangerous encounter, but the multi-bear surprises everyone by being peaceful and gentle, simply wanting to be left alone to listen to its music. The twist turns a scary moment into something funny and memorable.
What is a multi-bear?
Oh, that's a multi-bear. Bear heads!
The design of the multi-bear is excellent. Each head has its own expression and personality, giving the creature depth even before it speaks or acts. Its size and detail make it visually striking, and it perfectly fits the mix of horror and humor that Gravity Falls excels at.
A real man shows no mercy!
The encounter with the multi-bear also provides meaningful character development for Dipper. Initially, Dipper approaches the situation with fear and caution, expecting a battle. But he learns to navigate it carefully, respecting the creature and thinking creatively. This teaches him a lesson about assumptions and the importance of understanding others, even when they seem scary.
Disco girl.
Oh, you mean Disco Girl?
Coming through. That girl is you.
crazy! Finally, someone who understands that. Oh, yeah.
The Multi-Bear shows clever writing magic, but not every creature gets that treatment. The Crawlspace from Gravity Falls appeared in The Hand That Rocks the Mabel and was more gross-out humor than a truly memorable monster. Its living basement design and slimy appearance added some body horror, but the creature lacked depth or personality. Most of its role was to shock and disgust rather than to challenge the characters or tell a story.
Witnessed a creature which took a bite of my sock and ran into the closet.
Are you sure it's even in there?
Hour 2, and the creature that ate my sock still hasn't left the closet.
Dun dun dun.
He could come out any minute. We need to be ready.
Unlike other monsters in the series, which combined clever writing with suspense or horror, the Crawlspace felt like a single joke stretched too far. It was briefly funny, but ultimately forgettable compared to the show's more creative creatures. From Bill Cipher to the clay monsters, Gravity Falls has hits and misses. Which creatures are your favorites? Like and subscribe to relive the scares, laughs, and surprises with every unforgettable monster. Also, watch this next video on your screen right now. You'll love it!